Good.
Hello, everybody.
Huh?
Hey.
Welcome to Adventures of
Hello.
Trackless Sea, where everybody's not in the Trackless Sea. They're on the border of it, in Candlekeep. I
I've got
believe.
a feeling we haven't been in the Trackless Sea for most of this game.
Yeah, it's quite ironic. But in any case, groups in the Trackless Sea, not really. Well, I don't know why I said that. You're in
In the Sea of
Candlekeep.
Swords, off the
Yes,
coast. Yeah,
up in the Sword
off of
Coast.
something. Yeah.
And the group is researching stuff about aboleths and Neverwinter and where Azra's brother and stuff might be. And that's where we last left off. So, did you want to do any more research while you were here? Because I believe that you could stay for a 10-day, and you're 5 days in. And the hearth, the tavern inside Candlekeep, provides you with beds and food.
Do we have a way of communicating with people in Kendall or in Neverwinter?
They do have messenger griffins.
That is a bit slow. Do they get something faster?
I mean,
Not
Azra
inside
has a
Candlekeep.
sending spell, doesn't she?
Not inside
I-
Candlekeep.
She doesn't have the sending spell within it.
Your sendings don't work in Candlekeep.
I mean, we could just walk
I have-
outside.
Okay, I have some contacts in Neverwinter.
You do?
Yep, I've had them for a while.
Oh shit! Those people that you went partying with when we went to the wedding.
if you
I
leave,
get up.
if you leave Candlekeep, you can't come back for a month.
So if I step outside to smoke, I can't come back?
Nope.
Yeah.
That's why they have the Court of Air.
Oh. What if I have really bad gas and don't want to stank everyone out?
Again, that's why they have the quick.
They'll send an apprentice wizard to cast prestidigitation on your ass.
Literally.
That is very convenient. I love the customer service here.
Yeah, I was about to say this place is like a 5-star hotel that is a giant library theme park.
Do you have
Essentially.
milk from a virgin goat?
No, but we can get some.
Nice. Nice. I would not want to leave, but we have to in a couple days.
Not the first person to say that.
How do we become a
Meanwhile,
monk? Did you
while you're
stay?
talking to this monk in purple robes, we'll say you're in Court of Air because that's the main place where people will just talk openly, and you just see this one scholarly-looking fellow, and he's being dragged out by his ankles. He's like, "No, please, I have to know more about the color purple. There's so many different versions. No, I just got into the section about purple cabbages." As they drag him out.
Where's that block?
Cabbage.
I believe you looked up that Zifu floating city. The aboleth came up fairly recently in the last few decades, which is pretty recent in Forgotten Realms time. And you heard about a group called the Cerulean Sign, or Keepers of the Cerulean Sign. It was very difficult for you to find anyone that you were 100% for sure were still alive, because all the recordings, most of them said deceased. They're just clearly hey, this person died, I found this journal. Some of them probably had a blood stain on it or something. But I guess the big thing about those, now that the world has done more research, is a lot of their journals were in Elven. So I don't know if you know Elven, but most of them weren't Elven.
Probably needed to speak with or comprehend languages.
No.
Yeah, you're high enough level and a bard. It shouldn't have been too much of an issue for you.
Yeah, and I have the ritual to learn to comprehend languages. I'm gonna read off the recap of the stuff we learned so that you can correct me if any of this shit is wrong.
Okay.
What we learned about scum, what aboleths turn people into. Once infected with the aboleth disease, you have 1 minute until it starts to take effect. Before this point, it can be removed by any spell that cures diseases, like Lesser Restoration. After that minute, though, the only way to cure it is with a disease healing spell of 6th level or higher, or the heal spell. If that creature is also enslaved by the aboleth, they can only be restored by the wish spell.
Yes.
Okay.
And scum aren't just that. They are at that stage, and then that stage beyond, where the aboleth has actually modified their body and soul.
They're very rebellious.
Okay.
Rebels.
So you're not a scum once you get. You're only a scum once you get dominated and the disease.
Yeah. Aboleth are known for their. They like to mess with biology, so they like to warp how things work.
Okay. Dag is fairly certain that the aboleth sovereignty is probably who we're dealing with. They were released during the Sundering, when the fissure in Neverwinter cracked open the deep Underdark lake they were dwelling in. The sovereignty is unique even among aboleths, and some stories suggest that common aboleths are mere degenerate offshoots of the original species, the sovereignty.
Yeah. To clarify on that, most aboleths that have been known to the world are actually the lowest ranking aboleths. They're more like scouts. They're the recruiters. And then a lot of their slaves go to the cities deep below.
Plague fire. There are reports that the sovereignty are using a substance called plague fire, said to have been captured during the Sundering, to manipulate the weave and experiment on creatures that have come to be called plague touched in Neverwinter. They're characterized by blue flames, either from their eyes, veins, or massive wings of blue flame. The aboleths use this ability on themselves, krakens, and other creatures to gain the ability to fly. And Zifu, the Soaring City, was forged by the aboleth and also rose from the Sea of Falling Stars at the same time the sovereignty were freed. But there is a great distance between Neverwinter and the Sea of Falling Stars, obviously. But the Soaring City is relatively near Cormyr.
I think the last sighting of it was near a specific city I mentioned last time. Let me double check it. Akinol, which I'll copy and paste into our Zoom chat because it's got a U with a little accent on it.
Oh, the Kevin, what's that called again?
The little carrot.
Circumflex.
It's the little upside down V carrot over the U.
Oh, okay. I was thinking the 2 dots and like
That's Umlaut.
Yeah. I knew how it was spelled, but my brain was going, ooh, that makes sense. That's what it's called.
Nope.
It's called an uwu. Is that what you said?
No, it's not. That's what I thought it was. Because I know how it's spelled, but my brain is like, nope, that's not it. It's definitely the weird, mean thing.
If I recall, the circumflex thing is rising and lowering of the sound. Umlaut is you say it's sound separate from other vowels around it. So no L except null.
So it's Aknul or something. Anyway, it's a city on the southern edges of the Sea of Fallen Stars. I do know that much.
Where's his trees?
Because Forgotten Realms has a huge map and a lot of cities.
What?
What else? Actually, I think
Gary,
that's
eat your kibble.
Sorry, I have a tray of food for the dog, and he's being picky and only eating treats and rice, and he won't touch his kibble. And somebody's beeping.
Yes. I'm pretty sure that's not me. Considering I don't have my keys on me, so nothing could have pressed the alarm button.
Oh, I thought you meant like your
There it goes. Okay, so did you want to research anything else here? Doesn't have to be strictly aboleths. You are the font of knowledge in Torel.
I'm looking real quick at the chat to see if there was anything Maddie said that she was interested in studying.
All this 4th edition stuff.
Makes
me sick.
Kevin asked, are there any biological contagions that will only affect aboleth and will wipe them out and leave their scum unharmed?
Right. Dagger, you actually remember from your thorough studying of the Book of Exalted Deeds. There are fractions of the Book of Exalted Deeds in here, and they don't have the same magical properties that the pages had from the actual book, but they do contain the same knowledge that you gained from it. So instead of poisons, we'll do a flashback here. So Book of Exalted Deeds, they really expanded on in 3rd edition. And 3rd edition was a lot more heavy on alignment and very strict rules on alignment, especially for paladins. So they're like, how can we get the paladins and good clerics to be able to use mechanics that the rogue and the fighters in them can use without it ruining them, aka let them use poison. Because in 3rd edition, if they used any poison at all, voluntarily or otherwise, they could risk losing their favor with their god, which was kind of silly. But so instead of poisons, they are poisons to evil creatures that are called ravages, and there are many different types of ravages. And
is it a robotic panther that transforms to a cassette tape?
If only it was that cool. Speaking of cool, one of them, a lot of these are just items found from the upper planes or extremely rare, very positive energy items that act mechanically like poisons to aberrations, evil fae, specifically evil fae, fiends, and undead. I'm just going to go over the list real quick because I got them pinned on Discord, so if you guys want to use them, you can. Golden ice is a crystalline substance that is ice, but it's got a golden sheen to it, and if an evil creature touches it, essentially it can freeze them solid like they're petrified. But if they take any damage, they are no longer petrified. So it's a great way to press the pause button on some big bad if it works.
Mm-hmm.
Another one is Celestial Light's Blood, which is pretty much like the alcohol of the upper planes. And it doesn't cause you to be drunk, but if any evil creatures ingest it, they become poisoned. And they take constant damage from it. It's very slow, but it keeps going until for 24 hours. It deals a little bit of radiant damage every hour, essentially, and they got to try the roll every time. And because these aren't technically poisons, another big thing about that is that means they don't follow the rules normally with poisons. So undead and constructs can be affected by these because they aren't poisons in a rules setting. Another one, Jade Water. That's more from the eastern upper plane stuff, the Rokugan kind of things. It's holy water with the jade crystals inside, and this is one that you would actually apply to the blade, and it numbs the mind of evildoers. So they would have disadvantage on all intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws, which is pretty nice. Purified coatl venom is another.
It's very explosive. Be careful with that.
Yeah. Apparently, it's very explosive, but it also very much drains the being of evil creatures. If they fail to save, they can gain levels of exhaustion from it. So it's actually probably one of the more powerful of the ravages. And then the last one that you find is unicorn blood. But it can't just be unicorn blood. It has to be from a still Gesundheit. A still. Wow, the pause actually made it stop. A still living unicorn that willingly gives you its blood. Besides that, it's just blood. and if put onto a blade and stabbed into a evil creature, it deals poison damage. It's just a bunch of poison damage, but it negates poison damage immunities, so that's nice. But those are lists of those ravages that you could possibly use against them. Diseases, maybe not so much. Let me double check. They are not immune to diseases, so technically they can get any normal disease as well on top of that stuff.
Ooh.
Since you were asking about aboleths specifically.
That means they're vulnerable to contagion.
Yep. The only thing they're not vulnerable to is their own slime, because, you know, it's them.
Okay, so, these sound really, really useful, but I think we should think about which of them is the easiest to get, because I get the feeling there's a good chance they're not going to work. It's not like a "this will save the day" thing. Though, Coatl venom. A handful of those guys survived, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
We know them. We might be able to get some from them.
They're very rare and hard to find, but you know where to find them.
I mean, we know them. We could cast Sending. We could scry on them. Like, we've met a couple.
We met them long ago. They have forgotten about
It
us.
was like a year ago. And why would they forget about us? They're Celestials. For all we know, they live forever.
Because we caused some of them to explode.
I mean,
Do
it
you
wasn't our fault.
do you do a little bit of research on them?
Yeah, sure.
You quickly learned that their minds are shielded from divination, so you would not be able to scry on them.
But we could still cast Sending. But we'd
Or-
have to leave Candlekeep.
Or any effect that would sense its emotions, read its thoughts, or detect its location. And Sending would, I guess, not fall into that category. So you could cast Sending.
Yeah, that would suck. It'd be like, I'm waiting for a phone call. Shit, I'm immune to it. Dang it.
You also know that they're, I guess they're technically immortal celestials. Mortal in the sense of, they are technically native to the material plane now.
You know what? What's
But-
pepperoni?
But they, so when they die, they don't just like respawn in the upper planes.
What, angels?
Quaddle.
Oh.
Snake angels.
They willingly, after a very quick research on them here in this amazing lore place of Candlekeep, you know that near the beginning of Torel's existence, they willingly bound themselves to Torel and Abrel, or whatever, the twin
Abertoral.
Abertoral.
Abercor. Yeah.
Uh,
Means cradle of life. Together.
for their for the good snake god something or other. I don't know on top of my head, but apparently there was some good. There was like a big snake god, and then it like split off into a bunch of other ones. And the Yanti,
Tarzan?
the Yanti worship some, the Naga worship some. Pretty much all the snake different factions all have their own god at this point. Yeah, that was your quick skim of Glottal. I'll say you are.
Fun fact, they all have different names, but every single one of those gods and one of the lizard folk gods are actually a all one singular god that poses as every one of them.
That's right.
It's actually one deity, but he poses as like 8.
That's why they have to worship the Baron now.
So I would say that would definitely fill up Dagger's day of research. Does anyone else research anything? Dagger was Quaddle and the Ravages.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I think a lot of what Varth would have researched, we've already researched, really. It's not anything here. I think that he would.
I'm fine. I'm gonna run to the bathroom and take the dog out as well.
Okay.
Come on, man. You gotta go tinkle.
I don't think there's anything that Varth would really need to research. I mean, I can't think of anything unless the Baron thinks of something he needs my help with.
No, the Baron's basically researched the stuff he really wanted to. This was Dag's vacation.
Right. Well, Dagon,
Chunk.
Yeah, definitely chunks. That's what it was. Azra, that's it. Good Lord. Brain complete collapse here. I almost said Madi, and I'm like, no, that's her name, not her character's name. It's just my brain couldn't put it together.
Old age.
So,
well, I'm 39 now, so I'm gonna invest in a cane and diapers just to make sure.
So, are you guys? You think after this day, you guys would be done with Candlekeep for now?
Varth probably is. There's not much else he can really learn here from the dead paper that's all over, with dead trees. There's not really much else he could really learn here, that he can think of.
The Cerulean sign on all his notes looks very druidic, but more of in the sense of like as like a druidic ward sigil.
Varth does study that then. I guess I will spend some time looking into the Cerulean sign stuff.
Okay.
See if any of them were druids, or if their powers or abilities are possibly something a druid could use.
Okay.
Like, could I craft a Cerulean sign that like just obliterates aberrations or something? Probably not, but
some quick research. You find out that the originally came from Elven civilizations that were getting rid of aberrations, and elves were kind of like the first magic users really before the humans showed up, and their magic was druidic magic. So this is like ancient mix between like a clerical god powers from the elven gods / powers from the nature of the world itself magic. Essentially, this sign. This sign at one point could have specific magic imbued into it, and everything within a certain radius would not, like aberration wise, would be affected by it. So you're thinking there are a few spells actually here, but they're ones from. I'll just say I got it from the DM's Guild, some 5e versions. If you had like the Keeper Cerulean background, and they added like some new spell options for them, but I'll say they would share these spells with Candlekeep,
Right. Well, because the more knowledge people have, the more their weapon against the aberrations would spread.
Exactly, and their whole point is each keeper of the sigil sign is a holding the ember and making sure the fire keeps going.
So, let's see. Katrina reminded us or suggested that someone, the Baron or whoever else is here, to research Neverwinter, learn about its politics, maps, the Undercity, all that kind of stuff, so that when we get there, we know what we're doing more so. Also, how to get away with murdering shopkeepers. I mean, no, none of that part.
Okay, let me let me pull up the information I have on Neverwinter. The what I can tell you off the top of my head, you guys already know from your trip there, such as the giant fissure that was in the ghetto area, and it got sealed up by epic magic. They don't say by who or where or when, but it happened between the 4th Age and the 5th. After the Gold Neverember took over. So he probably had some Archmage friends and was like, yo, let's close this thing up. There's kind of like Aboleth coming up here. It's not cool.
He looked at them and he was like, fix it, fix it, fix it, fix it, fix it, fix it.
Essentially. It's the center of the Lord's Alliance, which is a confederation among rulers of various northern settlements on the Sword Coast, including Laurel Silverhand, the Open Lord of Waterdeep, Dagger Neverember, of course, and a bunch of other people. I think it would be safe to say Tharn Hornblade, the High Mage of Silvery Moon, probably helped with that. Considering that's like the big elf city in the Sword Coast.
Yep.
And being like the head wizard of the elves. Actually might be a good tie for the Cerulean side. But
I think he's the elf that can also wield shadow magic. So he can wield actual magic and shadow magic and help craft the what's called the Shadow Mythal over Mithra Nor, where he fixed the Mythal that was damaged and fused it with shadow magic so that it would last even longer and contained parts of both the weave and the shadow weave.
Okay, so here's the blurb I got on Neverwinter. Brace yourself.
It's Neverwinter.
A short while ago, meaning before the 5th Age, Neverwinter was beset by all manage of damage, danger, and gloom. Now, the orcs that once menaced the city have moved east to join their brethren to crush the dwarves at Gauntlgrime. The chasm that rent the lands has been sealed by powerful magic. See, that's all they give you. The high road has been cleared and rebuilt. Trade has resumed with the Waterdeep in the realms of the south. What was once a blasted, wounded city of Neverwinter just a decade ago is now an exciting, humming place where folk seem eager to throw off their hardships from which they have emerged to create a new, brighter future for the city. Nearly 50 years ago, actually 60 years ago, and on your guys' timeline, Mount Hodno, which is the nearby volcano that perpetually heats the river flowing through the city, violently erupted, destroying much of Neverwinter, killing thousands and leaving in its wake a great gaping chasm that split the city. Neverwinter was in ruins, and external influences from the Nithriel to Thay to Lord Dagult, Neverember of Waterdeep, and even the agents of Hells themselves sought to exert control over the city. This is all 4th edition stuff. Many folk fought to stem all these dangers, and eventually a measure of peace fell over Neverwinter. Essentially, if you've played the Neverwinter MMO, it's the main story of the MMO. Since Neverember was deposed as the Open Lord of Waterdeep, he has thrown his full attention and effort into rebuilding the city from which he claims descent. Whatever people's opinions of him are for the throne, he has proven capable and inspiring leader over the last few years, and the population has embraced him as their Lord Protector. He's engineered the sealing of the chasm, and etc., etc. His influence has radiated outwards to the Protector's enclave, which is centered at the Hall of Justice. Really? They have a Hall of Justice?
Superman, help us now!
With the god Tyr restored to life. I did not know Tyr was dead at point, but okay.
Yeah, he accidentally got killed by Helm in a duel.
Right.
They killed like 2/3 of the gods because Wiz Coast didn't think the average Hasbro exec could count above 12. Or player.
Where was it? Oh, the renewal of Tyr's faith in the previous center of his operations is only further proof to some that Neverember deserves to rule Neverwinter. Okay, you spent 3 paragraphs talking about Neverember ruling Neverwinter. We get it. Also, he lives in Castle Never, because you can't have enough Never in Neverwinter.
Right.
Dude's family's like Alexander the Great.
Yeah.
What you gonna name that? Alexandria. That city? Alexandria. That tower? Tower of Alexander.
As the city restores itself, there's likely to be requests for ennoblement and privileges that it provides, certainly, with trading interests to emerge. But Lord Protector Neverember is sure to point out that he is merely a protector and not a king, and so can't invest or recognize anyone. Guilds may form, but it is sure to be years, if not decades, before any prove strong enough to persevere over their rivals. So pretty much, this is a city that's been recovering from that horrible, nasty volcano incident of 4th edition, and but they've been doing pretty good, but not enough that they got a stable government, so to speak.
Right.
Increasingly, calls come from the citizens for the enforcers out of Midtarn to be replaced by respectable local guards who have personal interest in defense of Neverwinter. The public settlement has led some neighbors organizing to make their own makeshift militias, and some merchants hiring bodyguards from out of town. Looks at Baron. Wow, they got a lot of stuff on it, but you get the point.
Yeah, you have like Dagger and Azra, and everyone's like, "Whoo!" The Baron and Varth are probably like, "Oh,
what?" Yeah, everyone else is learning, and Varth and the Baron have. All right, well, that Saluvian stuff was neat.
But so they got a lot of connections with a lot of places. The city is still under work, but there's enough powerful allies with the city of Neverember that no one's foolish enough to try to like usurp them or overthrow them.
Oh, good. We did enough exposition to wait for Katrina.
I heard some of it. I just have to say, what is that mountain, that volcano called? Because when I heard it on Twitch, I heard Mount Oh No.
Let me double check.
First name.
Mount Hotnow.
Oh,
Hotnow.
okay.
Oh no. Hot no.
Wow, they are really imaginative with the names in Neverwinter.
Mm-hmm.
It's full of farms that never freeze over.
Hot now.
Neverwinter.
See,
The name is essentially Hot now.
Yeah. They had an E in there, so I'm just like, Hot now?
Hottie now.
Yeah.
It should be Mount Never now.
Mount Never Hot.
I mean,
Yeah, if Baron's reading this, he would have been like, and
oh
Mount
no!
Hottie
Wait!
now.
Is it dormant? It
Um,
should be
no.
Mount Neverember.
Neverember. Oh, it's
No, it exploded apparently like within last century. So
yeah.
Um,
How long does a volcano have to be inactive to be considered dormant?
It depends on the type of volcano.
it's less about the time and more of the time of seismic activities from it. And it erupted via magical means, because in the 4th Age, coming out of the Shadowfell, came that Netherese city that escaped in there and popped back out. And the ruler was like, oh, hey, I'm going to do my Netherese thing and cast a spell that's higher than 9th level because F you, Mistra. And he cast, I think it was an 11th level spell, the one that does the volcano one.
Oh, yeah.
But it was this. There was a specific spell from 2nd edition in Netherese book that is making a volcano.
Mm-hmm.
The material component, a mountain.
Yeah, pretty much.
Darling, that box is not for you. Kevin, he heard you open the box and the dog came running.
For half a second, I thought you were talking to Kevin. No,
Harry.
Kevin.
Kevin like grabs a box and takes a book out of it. Honey, that box is not for you.
Mhm.
Kevin's like, but it's my box. I want it.
But they seriously have, for 5th edition, like 3 pages of stuff. Just paragraph after paragraph of Neverwinter. Nothing specific, it's just...
I think it's
filling in.
probably because Neverwinter was such a big deal in Dragon Heist.
It was
Wait, Never Ember.
Never Ember.
Neverwinter
was-
was a super big deal in 4th edition. It was the Waterdeep of 4th
Okay,
edition.
so it's Maven's Create Volcano. It's a 10th level spell.
10th, okay.
Range 1 mile per level. Duration 1 year. Area of effect special. Inventive field. Verbal material. Takes a full day to cast and no saving throw. That's 2E stuff. For those interested at home, because you've already been listening to our exposition anyway.
hmm So,
That
after...
is brought to you by the Netherlands Empire Magic box set.
So
Available nowhere really because it's out of print, but you might be able to find it.
It's-
you can find stuff
You
like
can
that
find
on
it-
eBay and Amazon.
drive through.
You can find it on the DM's Guild, but not the box. You won't get the box, but you can get it printed.
Is it printed to me? Oh.
Most of the 2nd edition stuff is now. I thought. No?
It's a.
It depends. It's hit or miss. Some of them are like really amazing, and then some of them are like, yeah, we printed it. We printed the box set. But like all of the monster sheets and stat blocks and maps, those aren't in there. It's just the text. So like you'll have a monster, and it's like stats are in the back, are in on the individual sheets, and you don't have the stats for this thing. Like they're just not included. And, like I understand with maps, but they're monster stat blocks. How in the fuck are you not gonna? Anyway, it would also
We've been getting the print on demand for Arcadium. Those are available. Some of them have stuff. Some don't.
are fucking amazing. Which one is that? That one was great.
Warlock City of Kings. It's just missing the front cover.
Yeah,
This is
it
not
has
fun.
everything else. It's fucking amazing.
So, did you guys want to
Adventures.
research anything else in Candlekeep before you leave?
Harry, can you not?
Dog
Because-
breeding.
Okay, you find an interesting section on dog breeds.
Can you not?
This book will help me with the bitches.
Oh my god. Get out.
Literally.
And Baron's like, yes, I just did a day of research on this book for the joke.
Some random
Just for the joke and no other reason.
some random elvish scholar nearby that's just sitting at a reading desk is just like
I'm just imagining there's like one very, very disappointed librarian sitting with Leo that is either like turning pages for him because he's intelligent enough to read, or like begrudgingly dying inside a little bit when he uses his nose to turn a page.
probably a mix of both.
It's probably like I don't need a huge amount of detail on it. She just wants an overview of like what sort of stuff is in Neverwinter, like what temples are there. I know there's a temple of, oh god, he just said his name, Torm, was it?
Tier, yeah.
Here. Whoops,
Yeah.
wrong guy. Other guy.
They're close enough.
Yeah.
And I
There's-
think there's actually a temple of Selune there.
There's a yes. I would say even if they don't name it, most of the more common good aligned gods would definitely have open worship in Neverwinter and probably would have some kind of chapel of some kind.
Yeah, I want to say
There is a temple of knowledge for Ogma there too.
Mhm. I want to say that either in Neverwinter or Waterdeep, one of those are the largest temple of Selune.
That is
Waterdeep.
Waterdeep. hmm
Okay.
I mean,
And then
most of the northern ward, is it the northern ward that has all the chapels?
no, Castle Ward.
Is it okay? It's castle.
Are you okay?
My headphones keep setting off when I get a drink or something. It's like,
You need a haircut, that's why.
I do look like a hippie.
I also wanted to look and see if we can learn anything about the Undercity or like sewers under Neverwinter, because clearly if they're underneath the city, they have to be getting into the city through somehow. And presumably they're not coming up through the chasm, because everyone would see that. And I actually imagine it would probably be kind of hard to go through whatever lid they put on top of that thing, considering it was archmages that did it.
Well, the sewers still do have problems with a lot of aberrations. A lot of you do find some reports on grells. Those floating brains with the weird tentacles at the bottom with like the beak.
Oh yeah, those things.
And a bunch of other weird aberrations down there. And adventurers are paid on the regular to clean it out. Neverwinter, Lord Protector Neverember is very big on investing into adventurers, clearing out things in, under, and around Neverwinter. It's not as bad as it was a few decades ago, but because they got the walls built up again.
And I think I'm probably in my last day or so, because I studied a bunch of shit. Dag is a paranoid asshole and is interested to learn the history of Azra's Mage College, because she knows that Azra's not a huge fan of chatting about it.
Ooh, okay. Let me double check.
All I know is that it was run by Mordekainen, but like I don't know how old it is, or how prestigious it is, or like if they have any dark secrets.
Well,
there's a hidden chamber somewhere, and it's got a basilisk in it.
And
any student that misbehaves.
Man, a basilisk is not high enough CR for a fucking wizard college in D&D.
Not really.
Oh, there's like
maybe to apprentice wizards.
Yeah.
But not to.
Yeah, but like when you leave the camera frame for something, you should move your hats over so it looks like they're talking.
You were literally off screen and we could just see the hat's face. God, that thing. The brim looks so much like a mouth.
It does.
It's because there's also 2 hats there, I believe.
It's 3 hats right here. There you see. It's the other hat. That was the first one from the steampunk campaign, because it's got cogs on the side.
He dragged his.
The one that's going to be for the Wild West campaign.
He dragged his blanket to the other side of the room because he got tired of getting kicked, because he lays directly on top of our feet.
Let's see. There's the different districts. I'm trying to remember exactly where I had it.
Let's see. What spells is Dad gonna prepare? Definitely protection from evil. For dealing with aberrations out the asshole.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird for Dagger having to prepare spells. It sucks. I have to actually prepare my cleric spells, but none of my bard spells I have to remember.
The school is located in the Arcanist Quarter, which is the southeast quadrant of the city. It is near the Bagger's Nest where she grew up, the area that had the giant fissure. That doesn't have it anymore, but it's still where the poorest in the city live.
Mm-hmm.
The ghetto. But the Arcanist Quarter is home to many spellcasters, and it's rumored that there is a portal in that district that leads to a school for wizardry.
Oh, so it's not actually known.
I say rumors just because all the scripture you have, they seem to make sure not to make it clear, or like trying to conceal it even in writing. the classic Bard newspaper gossip kind of stuff, where it's like, well, there's a rumor that it's here, and then another rumor is that it's tied with a strange land called Orth.
Hey, Varth, I have a dumb question for you.
No such thing.
Now that you're a water Genasi, can you cast the create water spell all the time? Or is it just the control one that you can do? Because I know one of them you can do at will, and one of them is only one a day.
I think it's just the control.
Because it occurs to me that if we're going to be running into some scum, we're likely going to be taking them away from the aboleth, which means they're going to be out of water, which according to our research, if they're out of water for too long, they die. So maybe one of us should prepare create water, but I'll do it because I have, it's a cleric spell for me, and I don't use a lot of them anyway.
He can shape water as a cantrip, and he can cast create or destroy water at 2nd level once a long rest.
Yeah, that.
I think I'm going to prepare it as well, just in case, so we have extra. Yeah, I think that might be all we need. How many days have we got left?
You're coming up on the end of the 10th day.
Okay.
The end of the 10th day.
Dag is actually, she wants to study more, but she's aware that like we have stuff to do. She is going to take the last day and she would actually probably not even sleep quite as long as she probably needs, and write down as much as she can remember about the stuff that we've seen that weren't mentioned in any of the books that we gave to Candlekeep, because I know there's a bunch of shit that I never had gotten around to writing down yet.
Oh.
And it occurs to me that this is the best place to store those kinds of memories.
The Cerulean sign spells. I totally forgot. Because, Blake, you did ask about those. A lot of them, apparently, huh. All of the spells that they have in this supplement, I'm sorry, are kind of disappointing. I'm not going to say which supplement this is because I don't want to. It's a personal opinion. They only have 3 spells. They're essentially all of them boil down to they got to make a saving throw, and if they fail it, they take radiant damage.
That's weird.
But aberration type creatures take the max damage.
Ah.
But they're all like ranged spells, and none of them are like a hold creature or anything, which I think is weird. Or banishing.
Banish, yeah.
Should we go to Adventure now?
Yeah, I guess we should start heading to Neverwinter.
Yeah, Neverwinter. Okay, so the plan was your sister and Chung were going to go to Cormier to find your deadbeat dad. While the rest of us were going to go to Neverwinter to find Azra's deadbeat.
Not
brother.
deadbeat.
Not deadbeat.
I laid the kick the Baron.
Dead. Afterwards, we will go to Zakara to find Varth's family, was it?
No, it's not Zakara. His family's in Cormier as well.
No.
Kalimshan.
Wait,
the other Zakaran place.
Just outside of Kalimport.
Next, is that near the other desert place? Honorrock, I think it is.
No.
Oh.
No, definitely not near Anrock. The Anrock Desert was created by some nasty monster a while ago to.
The other thing I was,
I'm not sure.
the other thing I was
Blame the
thinking
Netherese.
that
All these books do.
Yeah.
the other thing I was
If
thinking
your dog
is,
doesn't procreate right, blame the Netherese.
That's
I
probably
mean,
correct.
to be fair, we blame them for a lot of shit, which it's their fault for a lot of shit. But no, the other thing that we were thinking of doing was seeing if Chung and Tess wanted to go down there, and while searching for my deadbeat dad, also see if they could check in on Varth's family, since they're not super far away
Cormier
from each
and
other.
Kalimsha are two different directions.
Oh, are they? I was under the
Yeah.
impression that. Oh, fuck.
Like Baron Foots.
Oh no, that was the other thing that they were going to do.
Yeah.
The floating city. That's not that far from Cormier, correct?
Correct.
Relatively,
That's the other thing they were going to do.
Yes, but we don't know if that's where the aboleth is. That's holding.
No, but we know that it's a city that was built by aboleths, which means that there's.
No. Okay. The city
It's
is
a Netherese city, I believe.
Oh, I thought that the floating city was built by aboleth.
no. We're talking about Zifu floating city,
Yeah.
not a Netherese floating city. Yes, there are a lot of floating cities in the Forgotten Realms.
Yes, there are.
Yeah, but Zifu is near Cormier.
Yes.
Yes, they're going to
Zifu!
they're going to study to see what they can learn about
Can they
Zifu
fly?
and maybe see if they can find our deadbeat dad.
Let's concentrate on your deadbeat dad. They can't fly.
Apparently,
Yes, they can. They have magic. We all have magic items that allow us to fly since that one time that we fought a god and he fucking played yo-yo with me.
I was able to fly. He still played yo-yo with you.
Well, that's because you weren't able to fly faster than him. The reason he was able to play yo-yo with me is because he kept ending my fucking fly spell.
Mm-hmm.
We all bitter about that fight.
The poor people that are sitting there next to us studying must be like, the fuck are these idiots talking about?
You see somebody has a bunch of papers that they're a mix between infernal and abyssal. Like some of them are infernal, some of them are in abyssal. And they you see they're all like different logs from demons and devils about some and other fiends about some creature called the Slayer.
Hey! I know that guy. I'm gonna recommend a book to him.
What the fuck is the Slayer?
Well, fuck, you weren't there.
We'll
for
say
that.
it's a halfling, right? So you go up to him and he's
The Slayer
got like
was a halfling?
and that'd be great, but no. He's got like 3 tomes that he's got up on the seat, and he's sitting on top of them while reading other tomes. And you recommend that book, and he's just like, "No, I've already read that one 3 times. It's okay."
Really? I thought that one was very new.
Oh yeah,
It is quite short.
that was new like a year ago, but I've been catching all these different other logs that I've been getting from adventurers, and the latest one I found, apparently he's like in Avernus in the middle of the Blood War. That seems to make sense though. He seems to like fighting from everything I see here.
Slayer 16 DR, Slayer Eternal, Slayer 3.
Slayer 1337.
Slayer 365 over 2.
It seems like that report that you recommended me to read, that seems to be the biggest thing that he's done. But it seems like all of the lower planes has come to know him and fear him, so he hasn't had the chance of destroying anything equally as powerful as this demon lord of moths or something. I don't know.
Oh, I've destroyed Demon Lords before. That's fun. You should try it.
Yeah, she was a bitch. She definitely deserved it.
Yeah, no, hard pass. I'm a scholar, not a fighter.
Yeah, she sucked.
A noteworthy profession.
She sucked.
No, scholar.
You've met
Wait, what?
you've met a demon lord?
I wrote that book.
We were with
You
the
can
Slayer
write?
when she died.
No way.
Yeah, there's a druid in the story, right? That was me.
That wizard over there, she killed her for a couple of seconds. Yeah.
I have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah, you weren't there for that yet, Baron.
Or sent the Dark Ages before you met the light of the Baron.
I mean, we were in the abyss, so yeah, it was pretty fucking dark.
You tried eating the fruit from the trees with the mouths?
No, the trees fucking ate Chung.
That's why you have to eat them first. You bite them first. They won't bite you.
I shot one, and then it tried to eat Chung again.
Why would you
Where's
shoot
your-
the tree?
Because I was trying to...
No wonder they try. You have to exert dominance over the abyssal tree first by eating its fruit.
Where's your
No.
pardon me, but where's your turtle friend? He, from what I see here, he had like a entire entourage of patron turtles. It's pretty epic.
As part of his agreement to help us, he had already found his family and was decided to stay with them. So he agreed to come help us one last time. And
Yeah,
that was his
his-
last adventure.
His reward for surviving that battle was an eternity in paradise with his family. He's in Ysgard.
Well, it's nice. It's nice to see that even with all the evil that we have in the multiverse, that some good came out of fighting it. And
It was one hell of a battle too. This guy summoned a Holophant and a bunch of Valkyries, didn't he?
That was an awesome horn.
meanwhile, the monks in purple robes are just being fairly patient, but they are just like looming over you guys to leave.
They're like,
Just sitting there and they're like right behind you, like
Yeah, pretty much.
There's like the timer ticking down on what our how much of our 10 days left.
You just hear like
Oh.
dun 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 dun, or whatever the 24 countdown.
like. What do you think about the 10-day limit? I don't know, but people really should respect when we have 10-day limits.
You're just talking about it out loud.
I see they teach passive aggressiveness here.
Of course they do. They're scholars.
Wow.
Oh, we're scholars, so we have to be passive aggressive.
Hey,
right,
do you-
Roger?
I mean, it's not like they're aggressive.
Do you remember that one rule? Oh yeah, you mean the one that if you stay past the 10-day mark, you are banned from Candlekeep for life? Wow.
We're leaving. Jesus, we're still on day 10.
Just saying. I mean, if someone even like a second later, and if they hypothetically had 3 hours and 52 minutes and 9 seconds left,
Fine, you can leave. We don't need you here to sit.
give me a persuasion check. You're really good at it. I just want you to roll.
Let me roll. It is 27.
Yes. Okay, I like you, but you better be gone in like that time. Yeah.
You too, buddy.
Yeah, I didn't keep a gnomish water clock with me to tell the exact second of time, so I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it like I usually do when I'm in nature.
I think we've learned everything that we can, though. So.
As the scholar's like, As
I
their
mean-
library is probably the only city in like a very large radius that has a gnomish water clock. Because everyone else is like, why do I need to know that exact measurement of time? That seems so trivial.
All right, so
So
we
do we
split the
wanna-
party.
Yeah. We should probably take a day outside of town to rest and camp and decide where we want to go from here, and if we want to just teleport to Neverwinter and whatnot. You have to be familiar with a place to plane shift to a specific place, don't you, Baron?
No, you just don't go to. You can be like, I want to go to the city of Ass, and you appear at the city.
Okay, it's not the city of Ass. That's a very different place than the places we've been. But yeah.
Oh no, not the place I was thinking of.
Okay. Or no, because that wouldn't work because we're on the material plane. I was thinking if it would be easier to make the trip easier on Tess and Chung and Vorm if we could help them get to Cormyr faster. but it's kind of a risk because teleporting there would be kind of a risk. Because
I mean, I know they're stanky, but I thought I was going into my boots.
the thing is, none of us have been there, so teleporting there could go really poorly.
Yeah, unless they know teleportation circle sigil, which we're in Candlekeep, so I took one.
Oh shit! You're a genius.
Yes.
Minus 50 gold.
And fuck yeah!
Apparently, we have to pay. As I walk out, I wrote it down. Oh shit! They took my 50 gold without me even realizing. They good.
They didn't let you write it down. The monks had to copy it for you, and there was a fee.
Tess does go. I will take those boots though if you're offering, because that would be pretty damn helpful.
You know, I got plenty of money. The Baron would have, I guess I just remember that, would have done more than one. So I'm going to knock 150 off. That would be 3 copies of
Three circles.
I'll say for everything that's non-magical, which technically the teleportation circle code you're getting, the code itself isn't magical. It's not like it's the literal teleportation circle on a piece of paper. Even then, it wouldn't work. Anyway, non-magical stuff is 50 gold a pop each time. So if you wanted a novel or something, they would copy it themselves and they would send it to you. And I think Dagger wanted a few things and had ordered some. But those were novels, so they'd take a while Baron's is just like a scroll with those specific symbols. And we'll say, since he had a lot of free time during this 10-day, probably got those fairly recent, and then got them at the end of the 10-day.
Yes, we're going to go to Cormier, one in Calimport, and a Neverwinter one, because we already have one in Mesro. No, Port
Nyanzaru?
Port Nyanzaru.
Yes.
I think we also have one in Mesro. We have the one in Zeb's Wizard Tower.
No, you have one.
No. That was
you have one in a Wizard Tower in Schult. That is not his house. And where you guys fought that black dragon and its babies in a swampy, sunken city.
Yeah, but I thought, well, after we saved Mesro and brought it back, and we had that tea with Zeb, and we were all chilling, hanging out, we were in a Wizard Tower.
Oh, right. You got the teleportation circle for the Wizard College there.
Okay. Yeah, that one is the one I'm thinking of. So we have one for the middle of fucking nowhere in Schult, in that broken Wizard Tower, and then we have the Wizard College in Mesro, and then we have... Where is the one in Port Nyanzaru?
Just outside the city.
Oh shit, it's ours.
Yeah.
Isn't it ours?
No, it's...
Yeah, the one...
Isn't it?
Oh,
we
yeah.
have one in the orphanage?
Yeah, we have one in the orphanage.
That's right.
The orphanage has one, specifically. That way we can get there faster if we need to get there.
Yeah. But Tess says I will take those boots. Do you want my my cloak of Elvenkind? I can't wear it at the same time as the boots.
I'm good.
Yep.
I'm already very stuffy.
So, NPCs are going off to Cormier, is what I hear, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's many tearful goodbyes, and I did say that we probably want to have like
action-packed
one
to locate somebody.
Yeah, like one night where we all hang out outside of Candlekeep and rest up before we part, and then decide how long we want to wait before we before they head back.
I'll say just outside of Candlekeep, there is a relatively rich merchant who actually has his own tent set up. And I'll say if each of you give him 5 gold, he graciously lets you stay there for the night as the equivalent of a tavern. But he's
hell yeah.
He yeah, he's a rug merchant from Kalashite.
I was gonna say, is he a Kalashite rug merchant? He's got a turban and everything.
Yes.
Yes.
I just realized.
I speak to him in Kalashite.
He is very happy to hear from someone far away from home, in the same language and everything.
Right.
He probably greatly enjoys your company, even if you aren't super charismatic or anything. It's just, that connection.
Varth is definitely not charismatic. He is about as attractive as your average peasant, maybe slightly more so, with 11 charisma.
He looks like he's a bit of a fish out of water here, and he's got a really big belly, and he's got like this really big beard.
And a hookah.
And he talks about his wife back in Calimport, who makes really good food, and he can't wait to get home.
Varth shares stories about his wife's really good cooking as well, or at least what he remembers.
Nice.
Wait a minute. Both of you had wives that are good cooking? You haven't seen your wife in a while? What were their names?
They were merchants and he got kidnapped. Put your popcorn down, Baron. It's a coincidence.
Wife's name is Kiara, and his daughter's name is Daya.
This won't really matter, but I did buy a certain thing on the DM's Guild called Cal of Shame Adventurer's Guide.
Ooh!
And it does have a name generator for the local area.
Aziz,
I googled
Jafar, Ibn Jafar, Ibn Jafar.
So this merchant's name, his family name is Majob, and I'll say his wife's name is Azadi.
Azada.
And his name is Rayhan. So it's Rayhan Majub. Majub? Mahjoub. Job? Majob?
Majob.
Yeah. Wow, they have Martyr as one of the last names. Rough.
Wow.
Any case, you get your long rest, you get your talk.
Yeah. Tess asks Dag or Azra or both of them, because it really needs it, to prestidigitate the stinky boots the Baron gave her. And then, even though she knows he can't actually use it, puts the Cloak of Elvenkind on Vorm.
Oh yeah, he's staying with Azra, right? Or is he going with them?
I think he was going to go with them, because part of the reason we were thinking is if we're fighting an aboleth underwater and we're not on the plane of water where buoyancy doesn't matter, Vorm is going to be fucking useless.
He's going to stand on the bottom of the cave and go, come on guys, come down here.
And it's going to hurt Chung significantly as well.
Yeah, because she won't be buoyant as well. She'll sink. She'll have to constantly
not just that. Her, the weapon she uses mostly is a hammer.
Right. Right. Again, not that useful.
And also, as like a meta thing, we're getting towards the end here, so they may want to start trying to branch out and have their own adventures.
It shows them teleport there, and then you just see, like, as they're going into the city, you just see this one building, and like the sign lights up from continual flames, and you see on it a symbol of an A with an eye underneath it, and they seem to almost like an arrow, and there's like green flame torches in the front.
Mason's Guild.
I don't get the reference.
Acquisitions Incorporated. Totally not a corporation for adventurers.
Right.
For franchising opportunities. This might be one of their branches.
Sponsor. Why are we going to put stuff in the game that we're not getting sponsored from?
Because it's official. It's official in D&D now. They're an official faction in D&D.
I mean, I don't know why we would ever advertise products that we're not going to use in the game.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Shameless product placement.
Before we let Vorm leave, though, I am putting a I think 5th level is the highest level spell he can carry. I'm putting a 5th level Cure Wounds in him.
Okay.
and he can just carry that around until he needs it, so that hopefully it's one get out of jail free card for them.
They show up there. The entire place is being attacked by swarms of blue dragons. And it's like, oh, great. No.
Kevin.
Wow, this insert brand here is the best drink ever.
Mm-hmm.
So, they're off.
And I guess do we just want to teleport to Neverwinter?
Why
Wait,
bother
grab
walking?
the thing. It goes to the.
Now,
You know,
where
I didn't
is that
really look up-
circle? Did you seriously just look for Neverwinter and just pick the first one on the list?
No. Everyone picks the first one. I picked like the fifth one.
I'll say it is the circle is just outside the city, like
Okay,
at
that's
the
good
gate
enough.
at the gate entryway from the south.
That's actually pretty ideal. Yeah, I like that better. I guess let's do it.
All right, Azra, teleport.
She seems really nervous and is not sure about heading back to her hometown because you know her. But she does it anyway. Woo! Bam! Bop! You're there.
Woo! Woo!
Boom, bam, bop. I like that.
You're outside Neverwinter. The gates are wide open. All the NPCs have yellow exclamation marks above their heads. You see a bunch of adventurers walking around, and they got a bunch of like overly over-the-top pet followers that have a bunch of extra graphic balloons and stuff on them. Some of them have like griffin mounts that they're riding on. You know, you think you see a drow with a mohawk?
I definitely make sure that we're on the PvE server. I don't want the PvP server.
Oh, then you don't see anyone at the gateway. That's suicide.
Okay.
Or no, PvE. Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say PvP. This would be suicide.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway. So yeah, you guys see that.
You okay?
Sorry.
And
I was just checking my stuff and so funny.
and you head inside to the southwestern district that is the Protector's Enclave. Immediately to your right, you can see just past a few buildings is the Never Death Graveyard. Yes, it's called Never Death Graveyard.
Dear God, they need to stop putting the word never in front of
Wow.
stuff in the city.
I'm not going to go to any of the brothels. Not that I go to brothels anyway, because you'd be like, never laid brothel. It's just not going to work. What is this going to be the never drunk inn?
Since you did do
There's
some
one of
No,
those
it would
that's
be
right over
never
there.
sober.
3 taverns that were
No,
highly recommended in the readings you had in Candlekeep from the bards who put stuff in Candlekeep. One is called the Sleeping Dragon, one's called the Winged Wyvern, and another one's just called Dolphin.
Which one did we go to when we came here for the wedding?
I don't recall.
Dolphin.
Probably Dolphin.
It sounds like probably the dolphin.
Oh, there's a shop we should stop by.
It's on the other side of town.
We'll do that later. Oh, by the way, there should be a messenger boy somewhere. They're always running around here. Boy, messenger boys. I need message delivered.
Yeah, what message you got there, boss?
All right, I write
Before
3
he
messages.
runs up, I'm gonna do not adopt this one.
How we
He's
getting
gonna
adopted?
Whoop.
No, you ain't hear shit.
In the bag.
What,
No.
what my mom and pa say? Whoa!
It's okay. It's okay. Our friend
Before he
is
runs
Angelina
up.
Jolie. We're going to just take you.
My name's Samick.
Wow.
I'm the fastest messenger here. I go fast.
Anyway, your name. I write up a thing to my 3 contacts who I don't have almost no information on because
Ages ago, when we were here for the wedding,
I was carousing.
Yeah, using the Xanathar's optional rules.
So these 3 contacts, I write a letter to
Ooh. Wait.
and basically ask them for information on the abolition that we're going to be in the Dolphin Inn. Dolphin. Is it Dolphin?
No,
or
it's
Dolphin?
literally just Dolphin. I don't know why, but it's just Dolphin.
the dolphin.
No, not the. It's Dolphin. The Dolphin.
So who are
Is
your
it-
contacts?
a city guard, a mercenary that works in the city, and a criminal that's in the city. That's the only information I was given.
I mean, that's typically all Xanathars gives you.
Yep.
Okay,
So-
cool. So,
Sorry, Scotty.
you have him send messages to all three.
I was going to use them to make that one guy's life miserable, but I'm using
God.
it to advance the story.
Oh, character development. Also, we have a plan to make that guy's life miserable. I don't remember what it was.
So what were the messages?
coffee.
They were just, hey, I'm in the city, or
It's, hey, in the city, need information on the local aboleths. Friend's brother was kidnapped by them several months ago. Any help you can provide, thank you. Be at the Dolphin, or be at Dolphin.
they get really offended because the Dolphin is in the nice part of town, and when you call the Dolphin, they're like, oh, I see. You think we're this big deal? I get it. How dare you? We're the tavern of the people. We're not for those little fancy pants white barred collar folk.
We will be at the non-definite article Dolphin.
Fun fact about Ohio: we have Ohio State University and we have the Ohio State University. And there's some people that like get really mad about the and mixing the two colleges.
We have the University of Maryland system, which has the University of Maryland College Park, University of Maryland University Campus. No, they changed the global campus. University of Maryland, Baltimore County, University of Maryland, Baltimore. They're not the same school, and they get sometimes very offended when you use the wrong initials. Because one is prestigious, and one is even more prestigious, and the other one is the commuter school I went to because it was fun.
So you hit the Dolphin, and you guys get there.
That's in the nicer end of town, right?
No, that's the Dolphin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you guys are in Dolphin.
Okay.
So the Dolphin isn't canon. I just, it's funny. So
It is now.
your three contacts were some criminal, part of some kind of crime syndicate guy, a city guard.
Just the word criminal.
Oh,
Criminal,
okay.
mercenary, guard.
And mercenary. Okay, that was.
It's on the table, and they give you a one-word description. It's like, you rolled a 6, it's a criminal.
So
That's
it could be a local pickpocket. It could be
his
the
name
leader
is-
of the entire
It could be a crime
syndicate.
boss. It could be
His name
pirate,
is
even
literally
maybe.
No, it's just some guy, and his name's literally criminal.
Okay.
It could
walks
just
up
be
and
a
he's like,
dude that sells. It
"Eh."
could just be a fucking a dude that sells non-sanctioned liquor. Like,
my name is criminal. What do you want? Do you do illegal things? Nah, man. Why does people keep asking me that? It's just my name.
oh my god!
Criminal.
Now I really want to play a tiefling named Larceny.
Larceny. You stolen anything? No.
And his
For the
nickname is
last
just
time.
Lars.
So you all stay at Dolphin for the night.
love it.
And it'll cost whatever the normal daily expense is, which I think is 2 gold a day.
That's a much.
That's a lot. That's for a
That would
like,
be perfect, Cat, if you
comfortable
gave him like
That-
a Boston
yeah,
accent.
That's comfortable.
But I'll do that because we're loaded.
And
Cat, you have to
Baron
get that character a Boston accent.
Baron notices his first one of the first contacts shows up as a horse carriage rides up to the front of Dolphin.
Wow. I was expecting there's a note.
You said it was 2 gold a person, Scotty?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh god.
You're welcome. I sent him a private message.
Oh no.
I go out and talk to my.
Does anyone else go to talk and see the Baron do this?
Yeah, I'm nosy as shit.
Okay, so Baron walks up to the carriage, and that's when you notice the carriage doesn't have any people in it, and he walks up to the horse and starts talking to the horse. The horse is like, "Hey, my drinking buddy. Psst,
Hey,
let's head into this back alleyway.
Varth, am I seeing things, or is he talking to a horse?
No, he's talking to a horse.
You can
Does he
give
have
me
that
perception. No, wait, you don't need perception check. Your passive's godlike. You hear it whispering to him in common.
So,
and he-
what do you
he's
know
like-
about the aboleth?
Psst, I can tell you a bit, but we should probably get somewhere where no one will see me talking. You know, we don't want happening to me. What happened? I don't want what happens here to be what happened in Waterdeep. You know, someone caught me talking, they freaking out. I had to leave town.
Yeah, that rat syndicate didn't help. All right, so let's go to the stable over there.
My cousin joined the Harpers.
Suddenly become Shrek. It's like the Baron has suddenly become Shrek, and this is Donkey.
No, okay. Spoilers for Waterdeep. There is a sentient horse in Waterdeep. Like an awakened, yeah, part of the Harpers.
So I start talking. We go to the stables. I pretend to be petting the horse as I talk. So what do you know? What you got?
You got the goods? I'll say you, coincidentally, with the 2 gold, you have an apple.
I was going to say sugar cube.
Or sugar cube. Sugar cube works. He crunches on him a bit, and then after he's done crunching on him, he's like, yeah, that's the good stuff. Anyway. So, there was this one group that was here a while ago called the Abolethnic Sovereignty, right? Doing some creepy shit with blue flames and stuff.
Blue? Weird. Why is that green?
I know. It's weird. It's like that crazy franchise that moved out here and went down to Waterdeep. Good riddance. Fun fact, Acquisitions Incorporated started in Waterdeep, in Neverwinter, because it's 4th edition. Anyway, they're still in town. A lot of their cultists are still living in the sewers, so I've heard, trotting through the streets. Even seen a few weird rat men popping up out of the sewers.
And they're, when you say rat men, do you mean humanoid rat creatures or humans that look like rats? Like long nose?
I don't know, they all look the same to me. All you humanoids look the same to me. I just know they were on 2 feet and they had 2 arms and they had a rat head.
Could be a were-rat. They're rat. Thanks. So there's still some aboleth things in the sewers. Anywhere concentrated that you know of?
Not that I've seen or heard.
Good. All right, here's some more apples. Thanks.
Excuse me, I got a knock. I'll be right back.
So, Varth, while we're having a meal in this tavern, I'm looking at my notes for because I have these little individual baggies sectioned out with little tags to say which spell that they're used for, because I'm a nerd. And then this one is 100 gold, and that one is for Greater Restoration. I actually have written down underneath of it that you can also use it for Stone Skin. Can you cast that?
I think that druids don't get that. I think it's a wizard only.
I think
Pretty
they
sure
do.
it's wizard only. It was wizard only. That would be great if druids could cast it.
Because it occurs to me we don't have Chung around right now, so Baron could maybe really use that protection. Or hell, Azra could, considering as much as
Druids get it.
she's not the
Druids elemental.
toughest.
Suppose.
It is concentration though, but
Yep. Up to an hour.
it's an interesting thing to think of.
So Baron, that's what you get from your horse contact.
Yo, there's still some of this aboleth sovereignty in the city, in the sewers. There's also apparently, I believe, ratmen as my contact says, so maybe were-rats?
Probably
were-rats. Around with them.
That's when a dwarf shows up at the Dolphin and then is like, I'm at the wrong place, and heads to Dolphin. And Baron recognizes it as the city guard who's off duty, so they don't have their guard uniform.
My contacts are so early, or so fast. Nice. Must be a monk.
And he's like, I've heard a bunch of, I can't do a dwarf voice right now, so bear with me. He's just like, I know a bunch of rumors that have been going around over in the, I totally know what this district is on the back of my hand. Really? I thought it was the southeast part of town, the ghetto area. Been hearing about. There's possibly still plague touched
Baltimore.
in the area.
It was burglar something?
Burglar's Den, that's right.
Remember, I live in Baltimore. We're from Baltimore. So
Yeah.
we're
We're allowed to make those shitty jokes. Because we know how bad it is.
It's also good in many places.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway.
And the but my cousin, who's another shield dwarf, our clan that just took back Contogram about a decade ago.
Bless you.
They've been hearing rumors about the Aboleth sovereignty seem to be moving away from the Sword Coast. They're still in here. There's still some behind, but there's been rumors about them moving east, maybe southeast.
Mm.
But that's just what I heard from my cousin. So, and that was about a year ago. So I don't know what's going on with that.
Good. That is actually good for us. That means there'll be less of them for us to deal with if the person's still there. How about kidnappings? Any news on kidnappings last several months, years? How long ago was Azra's brother kidnapped?
We're not 100% sure.
At least 10 years ago.
Well,
I'm
that's when
pretty
she
sure.
last saw him. There's no guarantee
Between
that's
10 years ago and this month when we saw. He's dead.
No,
That's
we
10
saw
years.
him. We scryed on him. She saw him
When was that?
a couple of weeks ago at most.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
Varth scryed on him once as well while we
Well,
were.
I'm going to
Yeah.
assume he
researching.
wasn't captured 10 years ago, because if he
Yeah,
was,
probably not.
he'd probably be a scum, dead, aboleth thing.
Wait a minute. If you're a scum, well, yeah, no, scrying would still work on you because you're still the same person.
I'm guessing you would look a lot different, though.
That's fair.
You look like a
He
scum.
did look very different. She said, but not. I don't know how different.
No, I've never really met much scums, except for those rebels.
Would I
An
say
excellent.
by what I had seen him in my vision that he looked like what a scum was described as in the book?
Seemed like
He
a
looked
mix.
like he's almost there.
Almost like halfway, I guess.
He's not quite there yet, so he's still savable by some degree. Maybe.
Yeah. That's good.
Well, we can.
You're
all,
not sure.
Okay.
They're all savable. It's just a matter of whether or not you're willing to use wish.
And I'll say your dwarf guard friend, as he leaves you an extra tankard of dwarven ale
Nice.
for good luck. Because he's like, I'm not touching any of that. Heard they're slimy. I hate slime. Ugh. So he leaves. We'll say the next day, because I'm super smart and know everything. What was the third guy?
A merc. A merc with a mouth. A mercenary.
That's
God.
right. Okay.
Hopefully he's not a merc with a mouth. We don't need Deadpool in the campaign.
Some crazy guy in a red jumpsuit shows
Oh,
up.
no.
Ah, shit. Spoke too soon.
What's up, Red?
He takes it off and he's like Native American.
Ooh, I kind of massacred a lot of your people in Ixalian. I'm going to go over here.
Then he leaves and you realize it's not the right person.
Oh, that's even worse. I confused them with someone that looked like them. Oh. It's
You fucked
compounding. Oh.
They're just like compounded the worst level of faux pas all at once.
Yep.
Oh.
Let me think. Good mercenary.
Sentient frog.
The rest you see coming into Dolphin is a that's such a horrible name for a tavern. Is a
It is. My God, I hate it.
a mysteriously hooded figure, and he sits in the corner, and he seems to look over at Baron every once in a while.
Brood silently and smoke a pipe, revealing only a small feature of his face as the embers
that-
of the
that your dude?
Yes, and it is a very pale face, and you can see like tattoos lining down it.
Ah. Does he kind of look like maybe he's bald under there?
You're not sure.
It's a bit of a gleam to the top of his head whenever the pipe illuminates and stuff.
You're not sure. He's very well hooded.
Sup?
Is that your dude?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He lifts his head just far enough to see for you to see his thin face.
I was waiting for it.
Sup there? What's up?
And he's like, "So what do I get out of? What do I get out of this?"
Your best Russian accent, Scott. No pressure.
The Scorpia. What do I get out of this?
There you go. Perfect.
Oh, not another Grubnik. I can make you immortal.
Already working on that. Got a good retirement lich plan.
Your accent's slipping.
Yes, I know. I'm done. It's over.
You sound more like it from
It's over.
Uther.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got a good retirement plan with my group.
So you don't want to become a vampire? They can live in daylight?
Nah, I heard they're pretty thirsty.
Not really. You don't deal with the thirst.
Both a joke and good.
You know, I don't see why anyone would want to become
you-
a vampire anyway. There's just so many weaknesses that they have.
I don't have any weaknesses.
Other than arrogance.
I consider that more like a personality trait.
I'll keep that in
Law,
mind.
but yeah.
There's nothing flawless about me.
Perhaps you and I have vampires confused then.
Yes, I'm a different breed. I'm from a different plane of existence. As I told you when we contacted last time over a...
To be
Nice.
fair, you were very drunk then. I'm not there. Dag's definitely gonna get bored and antsy just sitting in a tavern for
since
2
you
days. She's exploring the city.
require, as mercenary do, which I have here,
I'm gonna go use the little druid's room. I'll be right back.
I can... Let's see, if you don't want something besides liquid currency, I could plane shift you to another plane when you need. Let's see.
Well, your form of vampirism does sound tempting.
And so I can offer you immortality through the vampirism I have. I can plane shift you to basically anywhere you need to go. And by basically, I mean anywhere to go. I can breach any planet portal or barrier. Or I can just give you some gold.
You know, gold is most reliable.
20 gold sound good? It's just information.
Sure. I will say, because your persuasion's so high, I'm not even going to have a negotiation roll. You just convince
I've
him
spent
20.
more money this session than I have almost the entire campaign up
Yeah,
until
you
now
have.
for the most part.
Okay, so
Every time I'm like, I'm going to spend money, you're like, we got a group fund. I'm like, okay.
he's able to tell you that he doesn't know anything about aboleths being here, but he knows that from reports when they were battling them, when the big crevice was here, that they did take a lot of their slaves away. Like they went further down and away from Neverwinter completely. Into the many veins of the Underdark. He's not sure exactly where they'd be, but he's thinking they might be near the floating city of Zifu, which his country of Thay has been at conflicts with the Sea of Fallen Stars. At least a little bit. They have a lot of enemies, so which
So
you know,
most of them-
it's kind of annoying when they got their trade caravans of wheat, and then aberrations show up to take them over and stuff.
Yeah, sounds interesting, dude. Okay, so I go and inform the party. There are very, very few of them here. They've mainly gone to Zifu and have taken the bulk of their slaves and scum with them. So there is still a small chance they could be here, but the bulk of everyone's going to Zifu.
But if we find where they are here, perhaps we can force them to tell us more information about the others, or just learn more information about the others.
Horsemus Horseback has said that there's also were-rats, ratlings, whatever the hell.
We'll say the
Rat
horse's name.
creatures.
The horse's name is Walter.
Walter. Walter said that there are these
His key signal for contacts is he knocks 3 times with his hoof.
So,
No one? Anyone? Okay. Breaking Bad, Walter. The one who knocks.
Got it.
I
I've
thought you
never
were
actually
referring to a
seen
song
it.
I knocked 3 times on the ceiling. Anyway.
It was bad.
Wow.
Regardless. So.
Anyway, so
Yeah.
Walter also talked about rat-like beings emerging from the sewers. So if we find some of those, they might know a bit more. But I'm guessing the probability is Zifu is our guess. So an entire citadel of Ebulith, which I'm going to just plain shift into another plane and let someone else deal with it. Let's go do
Well, we need to find her brother in there first before we just ditch it in
Hold
another
on.
plane.
Azra, cover your ears. Do we really?
Yes!
We can just tell them
No!
to hide. You can uncover your ears.
Also, I'm reading.
I'm Maddie right now. That's what she'd be doing.
Yeah. Unrelated. I'm reading Volo's Guide to the North, and Neverwinter is so weird.
Yeah.
Apparently, on warm summer nights, street parties are common, but the rest of the time, the lanes are thankfully uncrowded. Street vendors are virtually unheard of in Neverwinter, and many professionals make house calls. They are summoned by the ever-present street runner, small children making 1 copper piece per message taken. And the city's nickname, the City of Skilled Hands, actually comes from its gardeners, who are skilled enough to keep flowers blooming in windows and spell-sheltered arbors throughout the city, even in the coldest winter months.
It's Neverwinter in Neverwinter. That's where they got their name.
Ew. I just think
Actually-
it was cool.
It's not that it's never winter, it's because they have enchanted flowers and stuff that makes it always look like it's not really winter when it
Isn't it never actually winter though
The-
because of the volcano?
The Neverwinter
It's just
River.
the river.
They still technically have winter there. It's
The Neverwinter River cascades over small falls and is spanned by many small arched and ornate bridges as it runs through the city, and the waters are so warm that the harbor never freezes.
Yeah, I always go by the 3.5 rule that listed in the book that it was always really warm there, even in wintertime. So it was quite literally never winter.
they have winter though.
I see you were looking in the same guide as I.
Winter time. It's never winter in the city. And
Yeah, they don't have a dedicated Volo's Guide to Neverwinter. It's in
right.
Sword
combined
Coast.
in the one. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
prior
Well, no,
to, I think-
it's not the Sword Coast. It's in the
North.
north. I'm looking at the Chewy version.
Okay,
now.
so
Oh.
just because
They
it's
copy
confusing-
pasted into 5th edition.
Yeah, because it's a
Because
bit
you said it pretty
confusing.
much word for word.
Neverwinter and like Waterdeep and stuff, and Tuian and maybe 3rd edition were not considered Sword Coast, or if they were
Right.
northern.
They were
Sword
considered
Coast.
the north.
Yeah. So in 5e they shoved them onto the Sword Coast.
They were
So
part of
that's why-
10 Town or something, right?
No,
Or is that
no,
further?
That's
That's
entirely
further.
to north.
Okay.
Yeah, it just there was like the Sword Coast, northern Sword Coast, the Savage North,
Yeah.
big ass desert, and then where everything happened.
Right.
So that's why some things are a bit weirdly named between editions.
Oh.
Right.
I know, really.
One of the most impressive buildings in Neverwinter is located at one end of the Dolphin Bridge. It is the arched-roofed House of Knowledge, the tall, many-windowed temple to Ogma.
See, Dolphin Bridge, Dolphin makes sense.
That's actually
No,
the bridge you're right
Dolphin
next
Bridge
to.
was it. I was gonna say
That would make sense. Like, there's no fucking excuse for this thing to be named the Dolphin if it's not
No.
right fucking next to the Dolphin.
Dolphin. The Dolphin is the other one.
The dolphins on the northern side of the river,
I
on the
hate
other
it.
side of Dolphin Bridge.
I hate everything.
And then there's a super popular tavern called Never Tavern.
Oh my god.
they don't like being called a tavern because they're more like a Barto or a.
As long as there's a tea house in the city called Never Tavern, then I'm all right. Like a tea house, and it's just called Never Tavern, but it's a tea house because it's never a tavern. It's a tea house. Then I'm fine.
Yeah.
The naming convention is horrific, but
yeah. Okay.
It's neverific.
Stop doing that drive-through.
It burns.
Drive-through was doing this thing because I think I accidentally hit the arrows to when I went to click on something, the bar moved away from the mouse, so it's like click up, nope. Click up, nope.
You guys are actually on the southern side of the river where the House of Knowledge is.
Oh, fuck
It's
yeah.
just to the east of you. It's like not even a block away from
One of the
Dolphin.
programs I have to use for work does that, Kevin. Every
You
so
do
often it
enjoy
glitches, and I'm like, I gotta close this window, and it goes.
I do
It
love.
runs away from your mouse the whole time, and you're like, come on.
You know them, Mom?
Yeah, fuck it, I love lore. Varth, you want to go to the Temple of Ogma with me?
Another big building filled with dead trees.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fine.
There is also many live trees in the city.
What should I do with the kid we put in the bag?
No.
You said there was an orphan.
No, I did not. I specifically said we're not adopting this one. And then you deliberately did the exact opposite of the thing that I said we're not doing.
But it's for Azra.
Somehow he has
Azra doesn't want another one.
Somehow he has another stray cat in there too.
Fine. I'll take out the cat.
I feel like if actual Cat and Kevin were adventurers, this is how they would be. Kevin would be like, I found another one.
Nah.
We're not adopting another one.
The cat is surprisingly very complacent. So you just pull the cat and it's like, meow, and it just walks off.
No, that would be how he'd be with dogs.
Oh, and I just rolled for the cat's, how the cat felt about the Baron.
Especially if you had like the ability to speak
I
with
love that.
animals, be like, okay, so I understand your issues, but Terry, don't be an asshole to the other dogs.
God, that would be so amazing to be able to talk to dogs and know what they're saying.
Right?
Terry is such an
Yes,
asshole
other
to my
animals be
neighbor's
awesome
dog.
too, but-
His dog is gigantic. It's like 4 times the size of Terry, and Terry regularly makes him cry.
So, do you guys do anything else in Neverwinter? Oh no, you're going to the Temple of Knowledge. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you sure you don't want to go to the super cool Hall of Justice?
Sounds a little
Super
little
cool.
square.
I don't
Looks
have the
at Varth's
patience for
alignment,
it.
sees
And then-
that it's not lawful.
And then you look over there, and it looks like a literal like 3D model copy paste of like a blonde white paladin just everywhere there. And you're like, oh wow, it's one
Yeah,
of
but I
those.
see a tiefling over there though.
Get him!
Patience, we told you to stop.
Uh,
Not doing anything. Exactly.
Now this Neverwinter's very very conservative, I should say. They're just like,
Yeah.
look, it's one of the Madi, and they like tackle him, the tiefling.
Are they actually racist against tieflings here?
It's 4th edition, yes.
Wow. Poor Azra. No wonder she kind of hates this place.
Yeah.
I mean, all of them are spawn of Asmodeus, right?
Yeah.
They all have red skin, all of them, every single one.
Maddie laughs in an entire family that is not red.
Yeah. Right. Not a single one of them is red.
It's also kind of funny because they're supposed to most of them have normal color skin, which
No
is
one
really
reads that
weird
shit.
because they mean Caucasian color, which is not normal color.
No. Not at all.
Racism
Oh my
topics
God, that's such a
aside.
cute ass dog. Jeanette posted a picture. I guess her dog.
Oh my god, that's adorable. It's so fluffy.
Oh, it almost looks like Mozart.
You
I
go
bet it
to
wants to eat your ankles.
you go to the Temple of Ogma, and there's Ogma priests there. What knowledge do you seek?
I want to learn more about the city, and particularly the issues that you've had with aberrations coming from the chasm.
Yeah, so I shall get you the scrolls, and they get you like history logs, and most of the things you find, I'm just making this real quick, is essentially most of the stuff there's actually more you found at Candlekeep than here. This stuff is more very specific details about like any guards that actually reported in. These are like logs for it. And are there any that you're looking for in particular, like any specific year or?
Azra doesn't remember exactly when her brother went missing, but we have at least a window.
Okay. The priest casts locate object on the. I'm pretty sure this is not how the spell works, but I don't care. Locate object on the specific documents that have reports of tieflings being captured by plague touch and stuff. So they are able to narrow it down that much for you.
That helps a ton, yeah.
And you look, and it doesn't, because most of the I know it's not called Smuggler's Den. What was it? Beggar's Den? Beggar's Nest. Beggar's Nest is since everyone's pretty racist against tieflings here, most of them lived here. So
I think the problem with locate person and object in 5e, I'm not sure of the other editions, it's only 1,000 feet.
Yeah, the range is garbage.
Other editions I don't think had that limitation problem.
Well, the other editions, it was based on your spell level, but that's not a thing anymore, or your caster level, but that's not a thing anymore. So, like, in older editions, it's like 20th level, it's more powerful. What it should be is based on the spell slot, is how much the range increases.
I was about to say, that'd be really easy, just make it adjust by spell slot.
Just a spell slot, boom, done.
But because there are no spells upcast increase the range, they didn't do it for that one, so it's suddenly very, very niche.
Since I have narrowed it down enough, you can give me an investigation check.
Heck yeah.
400?
Which, to be fair, though, in this particular instance, it would probably work exactly as needed, because there's a good chance that scroll is within 1,000 feet.
Well, he knows where they're kept, so he can go to where they're casting.
I think locate object is specifically one object, but I kind of DM bullshitted where he could do it to any objects that matches criteria.
I rolled a nat 20, so that's a 28.
He cast locate object, the librarian edition. It's more potent because he's a librarian.
You're pretty sure you actually found the very report that Azra's parents put in of the day he went missing, but no one saw it happen. It was just like, I hadn't seen him for a day or two, and the guards searched with no avail. And that's pretty much.
And it's like a
that's the whole
boy.
Yeah, and that's the whole report.
How long ago was that report?
That was totally not random. I swear, 10 years ago. Right after she left.
Not long after she left.
Mm-hmm.
You could be almost anywhere now.
That's not going to be great I'm not going to share that part with her. I'm going to, if I can, sort of make sure that there's another book covering the date, but I will show it to Azra. Varth, can you think of any other things that would help to study here? I've heard rumors of individuals in the city with rat heads. What is that? Are they rat folk? Are they
were rats? They seem to invest most of the towns here into Sword Coast.
Okay.
Probably from Luskin.
Most likely.
When I was a merchant, we had to check everyone who tried to come from Luskin for fear they might have been aware of that. We had them all grab silver coins. If their skin burned, we kicked them off the boat.
Lovely. So they don't like silver. Okay, good to know.
I don't know that part. I just know silver coins made their skin smoke.
Well, that would presumably mean that, like most other lycanthropes, they are hurt by silver.
I would say by the time you finish looking at all these documents and stuff in the Temple of Knowledge, it's getting pretty late. And you're getting ready to head back to
Dolphin.
To Dolphin.
The worst named in Tavern Inn ever?
I think it's wonderful.
And as you're heading back, a bunch of guys in half-plate armor show up. You notice that they have your past perception so high, no one can really hide from you, especially these guys. But they do.
Not in half-plate, they sure as fuck can.
They do seem to pop out of alleyways and such, and you see up on the rooftop, underneath them or above them, in the middle of the night, even though you're a human and you don't have dark vision, you're just so perceptive. You see the silhouette of some tall, lingering figure. And we'll just say thematically, it was starting to rain that night, and there's a lightning flash. And as the lightning flashes, you see up on the roof what appears to be a humanoid with an octopus face and purple skin looking down at you.
Shit,
Shit!
And that's where we'll end for tonight.
Oh,
Oh, no!
the cliffhanger of
I will say
cliffhangers.
Azra was with you,
Oh, thank God. Oh, but the Baron isn't! Fuck!
but
Our
Varth and
melee
Baron
guy
weren't.
isn't here. Fuck, and you don't have the teleport boots either. Fuck.
I got Varth.
He's not with you, he's with me.
I got nobody.
Yeah.
And in the Mind Flayer's eyes, you swear you can see blue flames inside them.
Oh, fuck.
That's even worse. The Conclave has hired mind flayers.
Psychic damage. My
Or
one
built their
weakness.
own. Wait, you don't build a mind flayer. You grow one from a tadpole?
I think they're infected, but I don't think we know that because we didn't really research mind flayers.
Well, that's
Nope.
true.
And as we end for the night, does anyone have any plugs?
I have one.
Yeah, you go first.
Stay tuned, because after this campaign ends, we'll be going into the verse and traveling far into the future of fantasy, into sci-fi. And it'll be my take on the verse, so it'll be perhaps a bit darker than maybe they initially intended.
For those that don't know from the quick look at the book, it is the campaign setting Dark Matter by Mage Hand Press.
Which I'll just send you something, so it might include some interesting things
Mage
also.
Hand Press.
There's their logo. Anyone else got any plugs?
They're great. Buy their stuff.
Tomorrow, Waterdeep game?
Yeah.
And
This
we,
channel, 10ish?
yeah,
EST. So for our European watchers,
EDT,
EDT.
because the daylight
ED,
savings.
phone home. Yeah. So that.
Yeah, we're maybe gonna fight.
You have Vizul,
Oh yeah.
Neptune, and
And the
What-
Trackless.
We're in a wild magic location. We foolishly
Oh,
flew
fuck.
in there with magic, so everything went
Oh, I
wild.
forgot that. Oh.
And then
I
a dragon
really
showed
wanted-
up and was yelled the bard's name.
I really wanted to play. My first thought would be I should cast Stone Skin, but I'm in a wild magic zone.
Whoops, is that a demon?
Oh fuck me! Am I still levitating?
Kind of.
I don't remember.
I remember your fly spell turned into a living spell, or it turned into an eagle.
Yeah,
kind of
it
thing.
turned into a living spell, and then I got hit with the wild magic thing where I levitated 3 feet off a foot off the
Yeah.
ground at all times.
At least you didn't grow a
And-
beard of feathers that exploded everywhere next time you sneezed.
No, Kevin used the
Um,
second edition tables, which is worse.
Oh.
And Jesse's bard, his feet grew so large that he had to take his magical boots off so that he could continue to walk. And I think he's walking at half speed right now.
He's got big clown feet.
He's got sonic
um,
feet.
Yeah.
I don't remember. He got hit by another thing as well, didn't he? I think both of us got hit by
Oh.
something.
Yeah, it's create food and water.
That's
Big-
right. It rained like bagels on our heads as we were flying in. Yeah, because I got levitate, and my one spell turned into a living spell, and he got big feet and bagels.
And I guess on that note, we'll end it for the night. Everyone, stay safe And
Yeah,
we'll see you.
We missed you, Maddie. Go check out her Twitter. She's awesome.
Yes, she does commission work for overlays. Our Reign of Misrule one that we'll be doing tomorrow was made by her. So if you need
Yeah.
overlays for your tabletop games, she's the one to go to. And on that note, we'll end it for tonight. Night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.